Looking for tips and ideas for fermentation fun? You are in the right place. Hi beautiful people, thank you for tuning in. My name is Lucy and today we are going to talk about some fermentation tips and advice and some ideas what you can do at home. I was really inspired by this book which is River Cottage Handbook number 18. I borrowed this from the library, but I like it so much I bought my own version. And you know, when you're thinking to yourself, I know I shouldn't have, because I am doing so much from this book, but I am taking this in my own time, and I can't wait to go through all the seasons to try these wonderful things. So let me show you what I made. And here is the art of fermentation when you take it to another level. I was inspired by this wonderful book, which is River Cottage Handbook number 18. And I've got some veggies going on. So this is a spicy parsnip with pear. And here I've got some wonderful drinks. I've got kvass, which is made from blueberry and lavender. Here I've got the rest of some papaya drink mixed with rejuvenac. And here I've got a rejuvenac made from spelt grains. And here we have fermented honey with blackberries. And I also have some mixed veg going on in my fermentation crock. So this is what you can do at home. I made some fermented drink, which is blueberry and lavender kvass, and it's got wonderful color. I will show you what it looks like, and I keep it in the fridge. So check this out. Obviously I am reusing some old bottles from which I had before, so you can see this has got a wonderful color, purple. I've got a little one here for a quick shot, and here I've got one more. And it took only 3 to 4 days. It really depends on the temperature in your house. And I use rejuvenac for sort of the starter, so you can see I've got some bubbles here. It's suggested to use something else, but I made it from spelt grains, and I am using this as a starter for my vegan cheese, so I am used to this one. And once you know what you can combine, you can really make your own combinations. So if you fancy some really nice drink, you can mix it with some sparkling water, you can serve it over the ice, you can have it with alcohol, you can have it on its own, and it's really sort of like calming because the lavender is there. So here you have it, and I really love the purple color, so I was thinking what else I can make, and let me show you. I never done fermentation with honey, and I was inspired by this summer pudding jam, which is based mostly on currants or blackberries and stuff like that. So at the moment I've got some blackberries, and look at this. This is what it looks like after a week. So this is fermented raw honey. with blackberries. Obviously, every day it will be different, and it will end up as really liquidy. So what you can do, I really like it over some yogurt or pancakes. You can just scoop it out as it is. For the fermentation drinks, they are quite sort of, you know, they've got the tangy kick. If you don't like the tangy kick, you can go and sweeten this with fermented honey, which is an amazing combination. You can scoop it out over ice cream. Obviously, you know what you like over your porridge. So this is really good after 3 days, but after a week is amazing. So my is 1 week old. Obviously, I've been eating in the meantime. I was scooping it out, and you just make the same amount of raw honey and the same amount of fruit of your choice. It can be berries, blackberries, blackcurrant, blueberries, whatever you have in the season, and you mix it together and you put a lid, but you leave it like loosely on the top, and you keep it in the dark cool corner. So I kept it just behind, and I've got some tea towel. I put some tea towel over it, and every couple of days you tighten the lid and give it a good shake, so making sure everything is submerged in the liquid, nothing is like poking out. And you keep tasting it, and it's up to your preference whether you want to leave it 3 days, 7 days, because in summer it will obviously ferment much quicker. And I am really glad I came across it, because I've got loads of currants in my garden. So I've got red currant, black currant, and also white currant, which is still establishing. And last year I was thinking what I can do. So obviously I store it in the freezer. The best thing is eat it fresh, but sometimes you've got so much or you don't have time or whatever. So I was thinking I'm gonna definitely ferment this with honey during summertime. I made some fruit leathers, and also I store it by Anastasia method. I leave the videos in the descriptions. It's really amazing. It's basically storing fruit within a glass jar, and you just close it within 15 minutes from the harvest, and you leave it, and it will do some natural fermentation. And I've got actually one last jar left, so you know what I'm talking about. You can see it made its own like preservation, the liquid. When you open it, you will hear a bit of fizz. So obviously it's sort of like tangy. It created its own microclimate, and it went through fermentation process, but I was amazed. I was eating one jar last week, and it's after 9 months, and look, this is like firm, this is sort of intact. It changed her color slightly obviously, but I was thinking wow. But the ratio is 50-50. I had some with mold, so I had to get rid of it, but the last three jars, they were just amazing. So the jury is still out there, but check my videos if you are interested about this method. And then I really like this curried parsnip kraut, which is like combination of parsnip, pears, and nice spices, whatever you like to put in it. And I've got actually 3 jars, so let me show you. And here we are. I've got 3 big jars, and I keep it on the plate because it can overflow the liquid, which happened. And I put some turmeric and some spices, so I don't want to have anything colored. So I keep it on the plate. I keep it in the dark, cool corner, and it's the same. I've got a tea towel over it, and I had the honey with it as well, so everything is nicely together. And you can leave it for a week. Mine is 1 week old, or you can leave it for 2 weeks. I will be going for the 2 weeks because I'd like to have a different taste. You can have a taste and see what you think. And I've got some juniper berries. I've got some really spicy paprika, so you can see it's hot, so whatever you fancy, and this will be really nice accomplishment to your main meal, so I can't wait. And obviously parsnip is quite dry, but the pear really gives it nice liquid, and I keep some kale leaves on the top, so everything is nicely submerged. And then I've got my fermentation crock fill up as well, so I never had so much going on before this book apart from the fermentation crock. So now I am doing some liquids, I am doing this busy one, and also I put some jars on the side, as you can see, and I am doing the honey. And you never know where it takes you. So in this fermentation crock, it's really my favorite one, and if you'd like to make a bigger batch, it's really easy to look after. You just fill it in, you fill the rim with water, you keep watching whether the water is there. If not, you just fill it up, and that's all it needs. And I put there combination of Chinese leaf, purple radish, purple carrot, some turmeric, juniper berries, and also some dried nettle seeds for extra health booster. So you can really play with the combination, and as I seen in this book, you can make so many combinations of veg. So basically you don't have to follow this recipe, you can swap it with something else. That's what I had. Like, I was thinking, okay, let's make the Chinese leaf, purple radish and stuff like that, and see how that comes out, which will be always amazing, because you never know what you can expect. And what is on my radar is this dandelion krautchi, because if you follow me, you know I am really into incorporating something wild to my diet. So you can call it wheat, you can call it wild herbs, whatever. And I was thinking, wow, dandelion, so I've got it in my garden. I really enjoy drinking tea from the roasted root, but I don't know, like with the leaves, there is something, I'm not really into this, and I'm just looking for ways how I can make it like palatable for me. And when I saw this, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I can actually ferment this, and this is such a great idea. And you can also have add some petals there if you've got the flowers as well. And it's really good to do it in sprinkle time, or when they've got another growth during summer or autumn. So if you've got a dandelion in your garden and you treat it as a wheat, maybe you can ferment it. I haven't done it, but I am so excited, and I will definitely do. And I think it will be amazing. And another great drink is Tepache. You can check my video above when I was making this from pineapple peels and core. Here I didn't know you can also do it with banana skins instead. I haven't done it with banana skins, but I bought some papaya, and I was also reusing the seeds, and I was thinking, can I actually use the skin and ferment it? And the answer was yes. So I made my another fermented drink with papaya, and It's really good because once you know, and then you can Google stuff whether the peels are edible, whether it can be fermented, and you can make your own combination. So it was another great drink, and I also didn't know like papaya seeds are edible. They've got really spicy, peppery kick, and I put a few into the fermentation process. So this is something what you can explore. And I also made some papaya seeds tea. So this once you have one book, it can take you to completely another level. And if you are new to it, just go for the drinks. They are really easy to make, and they won't take such a long time as the veg or stuff like that. And here you can also bake with it. I haven't done my own sourdough bread, but it will come. That's why I said I will take it in my own time, because it's so much to do, and you won't be able to make it in 1 month or something. So this is like your book to come back to it and stuff like that. And I'd like to know your thoughts. What is your inspiration? What you really enjoy about fermenting? Which book did you find useful when you started? And what are you doing? Honestly, I am scared because, like, as you can see, my counter is all like full with this wonderful stuff. But it's amazing because when summer comes, imagine the nice fresh drinks. I saw some nice sauces for barbecue. You can make it from gooseberries and stuff like that. So check this out, because who wouldn't like a nice barbecue, some fizzy fermentation drink, and just imagine the lovely stuff you are doing for your body as well. So this is like awesome stuff. And in summer, why don't you finish with fermented honey dessert? But you don't have to wait for summer. You can make it in winter time and throughout the year. So let me know, are you going to transfer some wheat into some lovely probiotic stuff? Are you gonna make something good for your body? I hope it inspires you. I hope it gives you like confidence and some ideas what to do. Have a nice shot, and I can't wait to taste this. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe now if you haven't done so. Share with your friends and family. Spread some love. Leave me some comments, and stay amazing. From my heart to your heart. Bye until next time.